Hello to all. I was at the gym today and I was on the elliptical and the inauguration coverage was playing on the TV. You know, I had my headphones in. And for 35 minutes, I watched bits and pieces of that. I don't know what station I was watching, some news station, obviously. And they were interviewing Franklin Graham, who actually said a prayer at the inauguration. And this was after the prayer. Now, I want to remind everybody, I am not a political tuber. I don't know if that's a term people use. If not, I just made it up. I'm a booktuber. So this is not a big political rant or ramblings. Again, booktuber. There is a story here. It's going to relate to a book, I promise. So, I'm listening to him, and I've never really paid much attention to Franklin Graham. No offense, Franklin. I've seen some televised things here and there, or video clips of his dad. I've actually even read a couple books by his dad. And actually by his sister, too. I read one about his sister. But anyway, I've never given much thought to him. But I'm listening to him, and again, this is the first time I've really heard him speak. And he is so gracious and kind. And one of the girls, I think there was two men and a woman there that were kind of interviewing him, asking questions. And she was so blatantly trying to get him to say something negative, whether it be negative about Trump or the election. It was just so obvious. And he never once lost his composure. He never got flustered or frustrated. He would just basically tell her like it is, correct her, and say, no, that's not what I said, in a very polite manner, and then repeated basically what he had said. And she would keep trying to get him to say something negative, and I'm sitting there thinking, woman, give up. He's not that type of person. He's not going to say something negative. You can listen to him and you can tell that he's one of those people, and there are people out there, and you know, and I even try to be like one of these people, that basically, if you can't say anything good about a person, then you don't say anything at all. Not that he doesn't say anything at all. He does. He finds the good. And we should all be like, you know, I try to do that. We all kind of may even make a little comment on somebody's hair or something. It's like, why did I just say this negative comment on this woman's hair to my husband? Even though it was private, it was just me and him. Why did I do that? I mean, have you seen my hair? I mean, really, it's kind of like, why did I feel the need to do that? And of course, it's been said, we say these negative things to make ourselves feel better, even though I sit there and think, but we weren't even in a discussion about hair. Why? Anyway, I'm rambling on about that. Getting back to Franklin Graham. So it was obvious he was not going to say anything negative. He stated facts. The fact of, he said, Donald Trump is not a politician. And some of y'all are going, oh yeah, nope, he is not. He doesn't deserve to be there. Just stop. That's not what this is about. Donald Trump is a businessman. He stated a fact. That was not saying anything negative about him. That is what he is. That is what he's always been. Franklin Graham's point of view is positive, even though he has said he's not a Democrat. He's not a Republican. He's just a man of God. He didn't endorse anyone. He just went to all 50 states and prayed on each Capitol steps, which this shows you how humble he is. He said in an interview maybe about a week ago, because after I saw him, I just was at the computer before taping this, and I wanted to watch a few things in the last couple of weeks on things that he was interviews. I Googled like Franklin Graham, Donald Trump interviews or something like that. So just so you don't think I'm like contradicting myself. because today was the first time I had heard him speak. But anyway, so he had said in this interview that these people did not come to these steps to hear him speak. They came to pray. Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Franklin Graham, but I don't necessarily agree with you. Some of those people, yes, came to pray, but some of those people came to hear his voice. He has a positive voice, he has a positive message, and that's why some of those people were there. So, again, how humble he is, that he was taking no credit whatsoever. He was just saying people wanted to be there and pray for our nation, which, yes, people were praying for the nation because it's not in the best shape right now. But again, not a political person right now. I'm a book person right now. So, I wanted to know more about Franklin Graham. Obviously, I went and did some, quick little research on videos so I could hear him speak some more. Obviously, he made a positive impression on me. And I don't know what, I can't say in words exactly what it was, other than he was not negative. When I'm really going back to this woman trying to get him to say something negative about anything. He wasn't like that. And I thought, it's kind of like we don't want to hear people complain all the time how miserable their life. We all have people in our lives, whether it's family, friends, that they're just complainers. They complain about everything. And sometimes you just don't want to be around them because they can bring you down, people. They can bring you down. So sometimes you just got to stay away. You got to take a step back and say, I understand you're having problems, you're having issues, but I'd like to stay positive today. So let's either talk about something positive or we can go our separate ways today and we can talk another day. Something like that. But he's just one of those people. Again, I'm almost speechless because I was speechless. He made an impression on me and I wanted to know more. So I kid you not, as soon as I left the gym, the gym's like less than 5 miles from our public library, and I went to the library. And I actually only found 2 books. I don't know if he'd written a lot of books, but at our library, there was only 2 there. And one was written sometime after the Columbine shootings, and it had to do with some issues there and some things about people getting mad at things he'd said or something like that. I didn't want anything about that. I wanted to know more about him as a person. What made him be like he is? So I found Rebel with a Cause, Finally Comfortable with Being Graham. So this was in, this is an autobiography. It is obviously old, 1995. And I'm glad this was there because just by reading the book jacket, until he was around 22, he had an issue of who he was. He wasn't the person he is now. You're smoking, drinking, run-ins with police officers, things like that. I haven't read the book yet. Again, just got it today. But just by reading the book jacket. So, he wasn't always the man he is today with thinking so much of others and wanting to help others. He was about him and his life, and he was a little, evidently, a little rebellious because of who his father was, and he didn't want anything to do with that. So and I know part of, and that's had to be so hard for his parents because, you see that a lot where the parents are really, really good people, and sometimes kids go astray, and it's nothing that the parents, they weren't neglecting, they weren't at home bashing their child, killing their self-esteem, just sometimes kids go astray. So, but he found himself, and now he's this positive person instead of a negative person from what I can tell. Again, only my opinion on just hearing him from one day and seeing some other video, and I keep pointing over here because that's where my computer is, just so you know. So, anyway, I guess I'm going to go ahead and cut this short. Just letting you guys know what a current read I'm going to be reading right now. And I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on Franklin Graham or his dad, or basically anything I've, talked about or rambled on about in this vlog. Again, no hate things, please. No political hate things. The only thing I would say politically is that I do agree with what Franklin Graham said. I've actually said it before in private, like with my husband. I've always thought Donald Trump was a businessman, and maybe that's what our country needs. Somebody that can do a business deal, get us where we need to be. I'm looking at this in a positive light. In no indication am I telling you who I did or did not vote for. I'm looking at this positively and thinking, lately we've had politicians in the office and things have gone astray. Everything's not going to go perfect for any president, but maybe something different. You got to try everything, really, and maybe that's what the country needs, is a businessman who's going to tell it like it is. Sometimes stick his foot in his mouth and be too blunt. But as Franklin Graham said, Donald Trump talks from his heart and his feelings, and he just puts it out there. Again, sometimes that can be, now he did not say this part, that sometimes the foot in the mouth and going about it the wrong way. He just said that he does talk from his heart. And my opinion is he's not going to walk on eggshells like sometimes people have to do. And that could be work in our favor or not in our favor. We'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, I'd love to hear your comments below, and until the next page.